Today we find out which is the best tape for your tape mod. Let's do that. All right, to do this, we have a stock Keychron Q3. The case dampening is taken out, and we have some cherry profile keycaps on here. And we're gonna test out all of these different types of tape. Which one is the best? I'm gonna rank each one 0 to 100, starting with no tape at all. It's boring, but you have to give it a starting point. So I'm thinking 30 out of 100, that's a good starting point. If it's below 30, then the tape has made it worse. If it's above, it's made it better. I don't like this quiet board. I think this is too quiet. This tape is supposed to make it a little bit poppier. Let's move to the first tape, which is going to be classic. Good starting point, painter's tape. This is about what everyone uses. Painter's tape, let's do it. Got a reaction? Wow, quite a bit more poppy. About 2 layers of painter's tape, substantially more poppy. Bigger difference than I thought it was going to make, but yeah, there's no denying. This is very nice. It took a keyboard that was honestly kind of boring, a little bit quiet. It still is fairly quiet, just gives it that extra, that's a little special. This is very good. I'm gonna give this a 73 out of 100. That's a high score. I think we can do better. We'll see if any tapes are better than this. 73 out of 100. Out with the painter's preference of tape and in with a classic home staple, Scotch tape. Has it been done before? I don't think so. Let's get a moment of silence while we do this sound test. I didn't know what to expect. I thought, okay, everyone uses painter's tape. No one says, hey, try something different. Everyone says, use painter's tape. I'm gonna tell you right away, you're wrong. This is an interesting sound. This one is less poppy. It's more of a soft, subtle kind of pitch. I really do like it. It's definitely a deeper sound, and I think honestly I like it more. Maybe I should have ranked the painter's tape a little bit lower. I think this is good. I think it's a little bit better, not a lot better. I'm going 79. Scotch tape is a great alternative. In fact, I think overall I prefer Scotch tape, what you have in your classic household, over painter's tape. I'm just gonna say it, 79. That's impressive. And with electrical tape. Still, every household probably has this. And did I mention, after we've rated each and every single type of tape, at the end of the video, we're gonna figure out the top 3, and then we're gonna pick one final one to be the best tape to rule them all. But now it's medical tape's time. I'm interested. I did 2 layers of medical tape. This is probably the easiest stuff to put on the PCB. This is fantastic to work with. Let's see how this goes. I'm excited. But now a quick word from our sponsor, Drop. More specifically, Drop's own DCX profile keycaps. If you're in the market for some very premium keycaps, these typically retail for 99 bucks, but you can use my code DCX20CTR to pick these up for just under 80 bucks. I put these on my custom RK84 build, and this is one of my favorite builds ever. The printing on these are GMK quality with basically 0 imperfections, and DCX profile is also very similar to Cherry profile, so if you like Cherry, you'll like these. They have a fantastic sound and feel. Oh, and they're also always in stock. And with the code under 80 bucks. But you don't just have to get the black and white, they also have Cyber Genesis, Magnolia, Keyman, Camilo, Dolce, white on black, black on white. Sheesh, that is a lot of different colorways. And if you aren't 100% happy with them, send them back to Drop. They have hassle-free returns. Go check them out in the link at the top of the description. And thank you, Drop, for sponsoring this channel and making sure these videos can stay top quality. Love them, but now back to the video. Sound test, here we go. Okay, so we got some interesting stuff going on here. So number one, it's hard to remember these, but I'm pretty sure this is louder. It does seem like it's kind of pushing that sound back up. It does seem like it's a little bit louder, but what I can tell you is that it's not quite as unique. It is soft, but it's also higher pitched. It's not my favorite out of them. When the other ones were 73, the Scotch was fantastic at 79. This one's a 62. It's a 62. It's easy to put on. Is it worth doing it? Absolutely. Is it better than stock? Pfft. Yes. Yes, it is. But that's what it is. If you're an electrician, this is your go-to. But we're throwing this away right now, and we're moving on to medical tape. Now, this is a fabric-based tape. So my kind of thought process is it's still gonna bounce the sound up a little bit, change the acoustics, but it's gonna be quieter. Let's see if that's the case. Moment of silence, let's do the sound test. It still has a hint of what that tape mod is. It still feels like it did add a layer of poppiness, but overall, I don't know, this is like a 43, 44. No, we'll give it a 44. It's definitely a step up from stock. It's definitely, okay, it gives that a little bit of an emphasis, but it's not that much. I don't really like it, but it is better than stock, 44. It's a 44. There's nothing really much to say. I wouldn't recommend doing this. If this is a last resort, go for it. I did this on a recent build. Didn't realize how little of an impact it made. There it is, 44. Medical tape is not the best option out there. Let's move on. Moving from medical to masking. Is masking the same as painter's tape? No, it is not. Close cousin, so I'm expecting similar results here. Let's see how it does. It's solid. It's a solid tape for the tape mod. That's a good tape. I would say when comparing the two of these, this is substantially softer. That's hard to say. I'm trying to remember what the painter's tape was like. It's very good. I think it might be a tad bit better than painter's tape. I'm going with 75. Still, Scotch Tape is a winner right now. That is my go-to as of now. But let's move on to the next. Now the goal is to do every kind of tape, but this is just, well, it's not, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Don't try plumbing tape. It's not sticky, it doesn't work. 0 out of 10. Next for all you builders, we got adhesive drywall joint tape. This is gonna be an interesting one. I had to put a ton of layers on. It's fairly easy to get it on though. Let's see if it actually does anything at all. Let's see how this goes right away. I don't know if it's worse or that it just didn't do anything. I think that's worse. I don't like it, okay? I'm going, I can't tell if that's any different. It's gotta be somewhat different, but I don't like the sound. I'm going 17 out of 100. There it is, 17 out of 100. Don't use adhesive drywall tape. All you builders, get out of here, okay? You gotta switch your hobby. If you're gonna wanna get into keyboards, use the same stuff, it's not gonna happen. Adhesive joint drywall tape, oh, it's barely a tape. This stuff is see-through. It's not good. It's not good. Let's move on. Next is packing tape. This is the tape that I've been most excited about to try. How is it gonna sound? I have no idea. I've heard people say, don't do this. You don't want this for your tape mod. Let's see if they're right or if they're wrong today. Let's do it. Sound test. There it is. If anyone told you that, which I actually think I've told that before, even though I never tried it, I just heard people say it, so I was like, this must be a thing. Those people are wrong. Previous me was wrong. This is fantastic. This is a great sound. Now, less poppy. It still has that poppy flavor, but it's soft. It's soft, it's nice. It's creamy without being PE foamy, if that makes sense. This is very good. This is very good. This is a step above Scotch Tape. This is very good. 84. 84. This may be the best tape mod. If you like that sound, and I do, it's a soft sound, it's a different sound. I really like it. 84. Impressive. Original packing tape, heavy duty packing tape. Let's see if this can one up it. Moving right along, sound test. I mean, this is very good. This is very good. Last one was 84. This is very similar. This is still very good. If you have heavy duty, if you have normal packing, if you have Scotch, it's all great. I'm gonna give this a matching tie, 84. This is just as good. This is just as good. There it is, 84. Moving right along to the next. This is indoor mounting tape. You can mount pictures to the wall. You can mount jacket hangers. That's what was in the picture. This is the double-sided tape. It's almost foamy in between it. It's almost like that 3M command strip. This one took almost an entire roll to do a 65% board. This is gonna be some expensive stuff if you wanna do this. Let's see if it's worth it. Sound test. Okay, now, not expecting that. Very, very different. I do want to say it goes on to the PCB incredibly well. You can put those things right next together, obviously just one layer. That's all you're gonna need, it's fairly thick. Now that's interesting. It's not as poppy as you would expect from something like painter's tape or the masking tape. It does have a higher pitched sound. It does create more of a dampened sound, but not like an overly dampened case or an overly dampened plate PCB. This is more, it's very interesting. I actually really like this. This would be something of more of a quiet build, but I still wanted it to be unique and I still wanted it to be special. I was expecting to hate this. I was expecting this to be garbage, and it's not. It's not in the same way of the Scotch tape, oh man, that sounds good though. That sounds really good in a totally different way. Kind of in a different way than I've ever heard before. This is definitely gonna be added to my modding repertoire. Absolutely. This is very hard. 78. That's where my heart was leading. That's where my brain was leading. 78. That's what it is. It's very good. It's surprisingly good. This is a mod that should be commonly used. If you want a higher pitched board, that's very good. This could be used instead of case modding in a lot of scenarios, especially with metal boards like this one, the Q3, Keychron Q3. This is very good. This is incredibly good. 78. Get yourself some of this stuff, try it. It's expensive, but it's worth it. 78, let's move on. Now we're getting into the really weird stuff. This is double-sided Gorilla Tape. Now the other side we've left on, but this is extra thick and it has that other backing on it. 2 layers Gorilla Tape, the double-sided kind. This should be interesting. Very adhesive, very sticky. Let's see how this does. The weird thing is I think this is maybe the loudest. I think that may be the loudest that we've seen so far. I really like this. I really like this. Do I like it more than the packing tape? I don't know if I like this more than the packing tape, but this is very good. 76. This is quite good. Everyone telling you don't use duct tape. Now, I don't know about fire hazards, okay? So I don't know anything about that. Double check your facts before you put this on, but this stuff, it's very nice. It's not poppy. It's not poppy, but it has that loud sound to it. So if you do have a quiet keyboard, like this one, this is just your stock Q3 with some linear switches in here. Cherry profile keycaps is very quiet stock. I personally don't like how quiet it is, but this makes it very nice. So if you are dealing with a more quiet board, this stuff is quite good. This stuff is better than I expected by quite a bit. I mean, I was expecting it to be trash. This is very good. 76. 76. It's very good. I think it's not quite as polished. It's not quite as premium sounding as the packing tape. That's unbelievable. I do want to say 76 is an overall score For this keyboard, I think this is maybe the perfect match for it. I'm gonna say it, with this keyboard, perfect match. With most Keychron boards, this may be a fantastic option because typically they're pretty quiet, pretty dampened. This is amazing. This is groundbreaking because I thought this was gonna be a 20 and it turned out to be a 76. Wow. Let's move on to duct tape. The most iconic tape in the entire world, duct tape. MacGyver, anyone? MacGyver, okay? No one on YouTube in the keyboard modding industry or sector, I don't know, genre, no one has told you use duct tape. Let's see if I'm gonna change that today. This is an interesting conundrum that we are under right now. What an interesting sound. Okay, now this is different. That's a very good sound. That's a very good sound. Interestingly enough, incredibly different from the double-sided Gorilla Tape. I mean, this is very different from this one, and you'll be able to hear in the sound test back to back all the way at the end of the video after we do the top 3, picking the best tape to use. This is quite a bit different than this one, but both of them, this is a great tone. Definitely louder. So both of these, you can see their body is more of a reflective, kind of a plasticky reflection kind of sound. So this definitely puts off a more of a louder sound. So if you do want a louder keyboard, the duct tapes, the Gorilla Tape type of stuff, although we haven't done the Gorilla Duct Tape, right? The classic super strong duct tape, Gorilla Tape, that's gonna be the last one. But this one, I think maybe this is better. I think maybe this is better than the double-sided. It's very loud, it's clean. We're going 80. We're going 80 flat. Duct tape is better than double-sided Gorilla Tape, and double-sided Gorilla Tape's quite expensive. So the duct tape, I mean, look how many keyboards you get out of this. You can do 100 keyboards right here. This is very good. Whoever told you don't do duct tape, block that from your mind. This stuff is amazing. Again, don't know about fire hazards, don't come at me, but 80 flat. This is a good tape right here. This is a good tape. The final tape before the top 3, and then figuring out the best tape, and that is Gorilla Tape. This stuff is thick as heck. It is incredibly sticky. This might have been the hardest one to put on because it was so sticky, but I'm interested. I'm expecting it to be similar to duct tape, but maybe deeper, or maybe not deeper. Let's check it out. Sound test, here we go. Now this is interesting here. It is similar to duct tape. It's incredibly similar to duct tape. It's very similar, but it doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't have quite that little bit that duct tape had. If my memory is of any service to me, then it's not quite as good as duct tape. It's still very good. 72. I was expecting more. This is thick. This is expensive. 72. There it is. All right, now let's round up the top 3 different tapes. The best tape. Which one will it be? All right, let's hear the top 3.
Packing tape, duct tape, and Scotch tape.
The heavy duty packing tape and the packing tape at a time, we're just gonna count those as one. They're so similar. Take a listen to all 3 in a row, and then we're gonna get to the number 1 best tape for your tape mod. Take a listen. And that is how they sound. The number 1 winner is, take a minute, go comment below. What do you think it is, and what is your number 1 favorite pick after hearing all of them? Go do it, and drum roll, please. Packing tape is the number 1 best tape that you can use for your tape mod on your keyboard. Guys, I love this. It's amazing. I love it so much. Now, if you want to go pick them up, That left corner, or is it this corner? No, it's that corner. Come on, that corner if you want to go pick up any of the tape for your tape mods. But before you listen to the sound test back to back to back, all of them in order of how we did them, look at how many of you are not subscribed. What are you doing? Don't you enjoy my content? Well, if you do, if you drop the like below, if you enjoy my content, please hit that subscribe button. Let's change that ratio. That ratio is insane. Look at it. But take a listen to these sound tests back to back to back. Take a listen.